A room is slowly filling with smoke. There's one person inside. He sees it. He panics. He gets up and runs to get help. That makes complete sense, right? Now watch what happens when we add 2 more people to that exact same room. He doesn't leave. He just sits there, in a room that is literally filling with smoke. And he's not alone. In a real experiment, 90% of people did exactly this. This is the bystander effect, and it's weirder and more personal than you think. It's 1968. New York University. 2 psychologists, Bibb Latané and Darley, had just read about something that disturbed them deeply. A young woman in New York had been attacked outside her apartment building, and reportedly, dozens of people nearby heard what was happening. And almost no one called for help. The news blamed it on cold, selfish New Yorkers. But Latané and Darley had a different theory. They thought it wasn't about who the people were. It was about how many of them there were. So they designed an experiment to find out, and what they found would change psychology forever. So, here's the setup. Participants came in one at a time, or in small groups, and were asked to fill out a questionnaire in a waiting room. Simple enough. But after a few minutes, the researchers pumped smoke into the room through the air vent. Not dangerous smoke, but definitely noticeable smoke. The kind that would make any reasonable person think, maybe I should say something. When people were alone, 75% of them got up and reported the smoke. Most did it within about 52 seconds. Makes sense. You see a problem, you report it. But when 3 real participants were in the room together, only 38% reported the smoke. The room was filling with what could have been a fire hazard, and most people just looked around, shrugged, and kept filling out their questionnaire. And in the third group, 1 real participant with 2 calm actors who ignored everything, only 10% reported the smoke. 1 in 10 people, in a room they could no longer see across. They sat there, coughing slightly, completely invisible in the haze, convinced that everything was probably fine, because the people around them seemed unbothered. So what's actually going on here? Why does adding more people make each person less likely to act? Shouldn't it be the opposite? There are 2 forces at work, and once you understand them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Force number 1, diffusion of responsibility. When you're alone and something goes wrong, it's on you. The full weight of responsibility sits on your shoulders. You know nobody else is going to handle it. But the moment other people are around, that weight gets shared, divided. And the more people there are, the smaller your personal piece of responsibility feels. Someone else will call for help. Surely someone more qualified is on it. They probably already handled it. The problem is, everyone in the room is thinking the exact same thing, so nobody does anything. The second force is called pluralistic ignorance. When a situation is unclear, is this smoke from a fire or just a heating problem? We look around at other people for a clue about how to react. And here's the trap. Everyone else is doing the exact same thing. Everyone is looking at everyone else for a signal, and everyone appears calm on the outside, even if they're panicking on the inside. So each person concludes, the others don't look worried, I must be overreacting. You're all using each other as evidence that everything is fine, when in reality, everyone is equally confused and equally scared. The group creates a false sense of calm that doesn't exist in any individual member. It becomes a feedback loop of inaction. Nobody's being selfish. Nobody's being cruel. They're just doing what humans have always done, reading the social environment for cues. The problem is, the social environment is lying to them. Now before you say, I would never do that, let me show you something. Because you have already done this. Many times. Just in smaller ways you didn't notice. Your boss says something in a meeting that you're pretty sure is wrong. You look around. Everyone else is nodding. So you nod too. Pluralistic ignorance in a suit. Now, second example. Say, someone trips and falls on a crowded street. Everyone slows down. Everyone glances. But nobody stops, because nobody else stopped. And the responsibility feels too divided to feel personal. And now, most relatable one. A post goes out in a group chat that's clearly not okay. 47 people have seen it. Nobody says anything. Each one assuming someone else will handle it. That's the bystander effect. Online, in real time. But here's something the original experiment also showed. Something people don't talk about enough. The moment one person acts, everyone else acts. The spell breaks. The loop is interrupted. That one person changes what normal looks like for everyone in the room. The same social pressure that created the paralysis instantly releases it. Which means being the first person to act doesn't just help once. It gives everyone else permission to help too. So now that you know this, what can you actually do? Because knowing about a bias and escaping it are different things. If you ever see a genuine emergency in a crowd, the most powerful thing you can do is assign responsibility directly. Don't shout, "Someone call for help." Point at one specific person. "You, please call emergency services right now." When you name someone, the diffusion of responsibility collapses. They now feel personally accountable, and they will almost always act. This works in smaller situations too. If you see something in a meeting, in a classroom, online, be the one who goes first. Not because you're braver than everyone else, but because now you know that everyone else is just waiting for a signal. You can be that signal. Here's a question I want you to think about honestly. Think of a moment, maybe a year ago, maybe last week, where you saw something and didn't say anything. Not because you didn't care, but because you looked around, saw others not reacting, and told yourself, "It's probably fine." I'll be honest, I've done this. Most people watching this have done this. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a human who didn't have this information yet. Now you do. Has this ever happened to you? Or around you? Drop a comment below. Yes or no? Or tell me the full story. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See y'all.